Have you ever felt stuck, unable to move forward in life? Do you find yourself constantly hitting roadblocks, even when you're trying your hardest to make progress? If so, you're not alone. Many people experience this feeling of being trapped, unable to break free from their current circumstances. But what if I told you that the very thing holding you back might be something you're doing to yourself? Today, we're going to explore a powerful concept that could change the way you approach life's challenges, the idea that resisting is actually holding you back. Let's start by understanding what resistance really means. In simple terms, resistance is the act of pushing against something, whether it's a physical force or a mental concept. When we talk about resistance in life, we're referring to the way we mentally and emotionally push back against change, new ideas, or challenging situations. It's that voice in your head that says, "I can't," or if it's too hard when you're faced with something unfamiliar or uncomfortable. Resistance shows up in our daily lives in many ways. It's the procrastination that keeps you from starting that project you've been meaning to do. It's the excuses you make to avoid trying something new. It's the fear that stops you from pursuing your dreams. Resistance can be subtle, disguising itself as practicality or caution, or it can be obvious, manifesting as outright refusal to engage with certain aspects of life. When we resist, we often experience a range of emotional and mental states. You might feel anxious or stressed when faced with change. You could experience a sense of frustration or stagnation as you stay stuck in the same patterns. Some people feel a constant underlying tension, as if they're always fighting against something. Others might notice a lack of joy or fulfillment in their lives, as resistance keeps them from fully engaging with new experiences. To truly understand why resisting is holding us back, we need to explore why we resist change in the first place. At its core, resistance often stems from fear of the unknown, fear of failure, or even fear of success. Our brains are wired to seek safety and stability, and change represents a potential threat to that stability. We cling to what's familiar, even if it's not serving us well, because it feels safer than venturing into unknown territory. Our comfort zones play a big role in resistance. These are the mental and emotional spaces where we feel secure and in control. While comfort zones can provide a sense of safety, they can also become prisons that limit our growth and potential. When we resist stepping outside these zones, we miss out on opportunities for learning, growth, and new experiences. The cost of resistance can be significant. By constantly pushing back against change and new opportunities, we miss out on chances to improve our lives, learn new skills, and broaden our horizons. Resistance can keep us stuck in unfulfilling jobs, unhealthy relationships, or limiting beliefs about ourselves. It can prevent us from pursuing our passions and achieving our goals. Resistance also limits our personal growth. When we resist new experiences or challenges, we deny ourselves the chance to develop new strengths and abilities. We remain static, repeating the same patterns and making the same mistakes, instead of evolving and becoming better versions of ourselves. To move forward, it's helpful to compare resistance with its opposite, acceptance. While resistance pushes against reality, acceptance allows us to work with what is. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or settling for less. Instead, it means acknowledging our current situation and using that awareness as a starting point for change. When we accept rather than resist, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. We become more flexible and adaptable, able to flow with life's changes instead of constantly fighting against them. Acceptance allows us to see opportunities where we once saw only obstacles, and it gives us the mental and emotional space to explore new solutions to our problems. So how can we start overcoming resistance? The first step is to become aware of when we're resisting. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings throughout the day. Notice when you're making excuses, procrastinating, or feeling anxious about change. These can all be signs of resistance at work. Once you've identified resistance, try to approach it with curiosity rather than judgment. Ask yourself why you're resisting. What are you afraid of? What beliefs are driving your resistance? By understanding the root causes of your resistance, you can start to address them more effectively. A simple exercise to build awareness is to keep a resistance journal. Each day, write down instances where you noticed yourself resisting something. Include what you were resisting, how it made you feel, and any thoughts or beliefs associated with the resistance. Over time, you'll start to see patterns in your resistance, which can help you address it more effectively. Another helpful practice is to start small. If you're feeling overwhelmed by a big change or challenge, break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. Each time you successfully navigate a small change, you build confidence and reduce your overall resistance to change. As you work on reducing resistance in your life, you'll start to notice numerous benefits. You may find that you have more energy, as you're no longer expending so much effort fighting against reality. You might experience a greater sense of peace and contentment as you learn to accept things as they are while still working towards positive change. Reducing resistance can also lead to improved relationships. When we're less resistant, we become more open and flexible in our interactions with others. We're better able to listen and empathize, rather than constantly defending our own position. In your career, letting go of resistance can open up new opportunities. You might find yourself more willing to take on challenges or learn new skills. This can lead to increased job satisfaction and potentially even career advancement. Personally, reducing resistance can lead to a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose. As you become more open to new experiences and ideas, you may discover passions and interests you never knew you had. You might find yourself pursuing goals that once seemed impossible, simply because you're no longer holding yourself back. To create a long-term resistance-free mindset, it's important to develop strategies that work for you. One approach is to practice mindfulness. By staying present in the moment, you can catch resistance as it arises and choose to respond differently. Another strategy is to reframe how you think about change and challenges. Instead of seeing them as threats, try to view them as opportunities for growth and learning. Every challenge you face is a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Developing a growth mindset can also help reduce resistance. This means believing that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. With a growth mindset, setbacks become learning opportunities rather than failures to be avoided. It's also helpful to surround yourself with supportive people who encourage your growth and challenge you to step outside your comfort zone. Having a strong support system can make it easier to face your fears and overcome resistance. Remember, creating a resistance-free mindset is a process, not a destination. It's about making small, consistent changes over time. Be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress, no matter how small it may seem. Now that we've explored the concept of resistance and how to overcome it, it's time to take action. Start today by choosing one area of your life where you've been experiencing resistance. It could be a project you've been putting off, a conversation you've been avoiding, or a change you've been resisting. Take a moment to reflect on why you've been resisting. What fears or beliefs are holding you back? Then, choose one small step you can take today to move forward. It doesn't have to be big, even a tiny action can help build momentum and reduce resistance. Here's a simple challenge to get you started. For the next week, commit to doing one thing each day that you've been resisting. It could be as simple as making that phone call you've been putting off, or trying a new food you've always avoided. Keep track of how you feel before and after each action. You might be surprised at how good it feels to move past your resistance. As we wrap up, let's recap the key points we've covered. Resistance is a natural human tendency, but it often holds us back from growth and fulfillment. By becoming aware of our resistance, understanding its roots, and taking small steps to overcome it, we can open ourselves up to new possibilities and experiences. Remember, letting go of resistance doesn't mean you'll never face challenges or difficulties. It means you'll be better equipped to face those challenges head-on, with an open mind and a willingness to grow. It means you'll be able to see opportunities where you once saw only obstacles. You have incredible potential within you. By learning to recognize and overcome resistance, you're taking a powerful step towards unlocking that potential. You're opening the door to a life of greater freedom, fulfillment, and growth. So I encourage you to start today. Notice where you're resisting in your life. Choose one small area where you can start to let go of that resistance. Take that first step, no matter how small it may seem. Remember, every journey begins with a single step. As you move forward, be kind to yourself. Overcoming resistance is a process, and it takes time. Celebrate your progress, learn from your setbacks, and keep moving forward. You have the power to create the life you want, free from the limitations of resistance. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of why resisting is holding you back. I hope you found value in these ideas and that they inspire you to take action in your own life. If you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us create more content to help people like you unlock their potential and live their best lives. And now, I'd love to hear from you. What areas of your life have you noticed resistance? What strategies have you found helpful in overcoming that resistance? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights might be just what someone else needs to hear to start their own journey of overcoming resistance. Remember, every time you choose to let go of resistance and embrace change, you're taking a step towards a more fulfilling and empowered life. You have the strength and capability to overcome any obstacle, including the resistance within yourself. Trust in your ability to grow, adapt, and thrive. As we've discussed, resistance often comes from fear of the unknown or discomfort with change. But consider this, on the other side of that fear and discomfort lies growth, opportunity, and potentially a whole new way of experiencing life. By learning to work with change rather than against it, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. Think about a time in your life when you pushed past your resistance and tried something new. Maybe it was learning a new skill, starting a new job, or even just trying a new food. How did you feel afterwards? Chances are, even if it was challenging, you felt a sense of accomplishment and maybe even discovered something you really enjoyed. Now imagine applying that same openness and willingness to try new things to all areas of your life. What might change for you? How might your relationships improve if you were less resistant to seeing things from other people's perspectives? How might your career advance if you were more open to taking on new challenges? How might your personal growth accelerate if you were willing to face and work through your fears? One powerful way to reduce resistance is to practice gratitude. When we're focused on what we're grateful for, we naturally become more open and less resistant to what life brings our way. Try starting each day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things, it could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee or a sunny day. This practice can help shift your mindset from one of resistance to one of appreciation and openness. Another helpful technique is visualization. Spend some time each day visualizing yourself as someone who flows with life rather than resists it. See yourself confidently facing new challenges, adapting easily to change, and growing through each experience. The more you can picture yourself this way, the more natural it will become to actually behave this way in real life. It's also important to remember that overcoming resistance isn't about forcing yourself to do things you truly don't want to do. It's about becoming aware of when you're resisting something out of fear or habit, rather than because it genuinely doesn't align with your values or goals. Learning to distinguish between these types of resistance can help you make choices that truly serve your highest good. As you work on reducing resistance in your life, you may find that your entire worldview begins to shift. You might start to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to avoid. You might become more curious about different perspectives and ways of doing things. You might find yourself more willing to take calculated risks in pursuit of your goals. This shift in perspective can have profound effects on every area of your life. In your relationships, you might find yourself more open to compromise and understanding. In your career, you might be more willing to step up for new responsibilities or explore different paths. In your personal life, you might find the courage to pursue long-held dreams or explore new interests. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate all resistance from your life. Some amount of resistance can be healthy, it can help us stay true to our values and make wise decisions. The key is to become aware of when our resistance is serving us and when it's holding us back. As you continue on this journey of overcoming resistance, be patient with yourself. Like any skill, learning to work with change rather than against it takes practice. There will be times when you fall back into old patterns of resistance, and that's okay. The important thing is to notice when this happens and gently guide yourself back to a more open and accepting mindset. Consider keeping a growth journal where you can track your progress. Write down instances where you successfully overcame resistance and what the outcome was. Reflect on how it felt to push past your comfort zone. Over time, you'll build a personal record of growth that can inspire and motivate you during challenging times. It can also be helpful to find a growth partner, someone who is also working on overcoming resistance in their own life. You can support each other, share experiences, and hold each other accountable. Sometimes, just knowing that someone else is on the same journey can make all the difference. As we near the end of our discussion, I want to emphasize again how powerful this work can be. By learning to recognize and overcome resistance, you're not just making your life easier, you're actively shaping your future. You're choosing growth over stagnation, possibility over limitation. Every time you choose to lean into discomfort rather than away from it, you're building resilience and adaptability. These are crucial skills in our rapidly changing world. By developing these skills, you're not just improving your own life, you're better equipping yourself to make a positive impact on the world around you. So I encourage you to take this knowledge and put it into practice. Start small, be patient with yourself, and celebrate every victory, no matter how small it may seem. Remember, every step forward is progress, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. And as you move forward on this journey, know that you're not alone. There's a whole community of people out there who are also working on personal growth and overcoming resistance. Seek out these communities, whether online or in person. Share your experiences, learn from others, and support each other in your growth. Thank you again for joining me on this exploration of why resisting is holding you back. I hope you found value in these ideas and that they inspire you to take action in your own life. Remember, you have the power to create the life you want, free from the limitations of resistance. It all starts with awareness and a willingness to take that first step. As we close, I invite you once more to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. What insights have you gained from this discussion? How do you plan to apply these ideas in your own life? Your share might be just the inspiration someone else needs to start their own journey of growth. And if you found this video helpful, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us create more content to help people like you unlock their potential and live their best lives. Remember, every moment is an opportunity for growth. Every challenge is a chance to learn and become stronger. By choosing to work with life rather than against it, you're opening yourself up to a world of possibilities. Trust in your ability to adapt, grow, and thrive. The journey of overcoming resistance starts now, and I believe in your ability to create positive change in your life. Here's to your growth, your potential, and the amazing journey ahead.